There's our virtual image, and it's, well, as you can see, it's all blocked off down the left-hand side there with the green and pink. So what's coming up here? It could be a deep screw again. Cue in the air, but he doesn't like it. Got to make a good attempt at this. This is horrible.
He's got plenty of cue powers, Ali, but it is, as you say, tough, John. He's got the white back as close to the pocket as he screwed in off.
Foul.
Well, can you get your
Near
breath?
Robertson foot.
I mean, very unfortunate to screw into the pocket there. He just holds his hand up as if to say, well, what else could I do? But he got plenty of screw on it. A bit unlucky, as I say, not only to screw in off, but for those two reds to come up as well.
Just shows you, though, Dennis, the pressure he's being put under by the quality of Robertson's match play. I mean, he's coming to the table and having to play those shots with, you know, great degree of difficulty because his opponent's just making it so difficult.
Yeah, I think he just sat down and he more or less said, well, what could I do?
One. Yeah. 6. Seven.
So, once again,
13.
totally straightforward the chance, but we said that early on in the match, and Neil managed to find his way around the table to construct a beautiful 128 break in the first frame. So all the time just thinking about how he can progress the break. Obviously the black is out of commission, that's not going to be used.
14.
Well, he must practice a bit with that extension because he screwed that back. Absolutely. Perfectly on the blue.
I've gone on a bit this evening about it, but he really is hitting the ball like a dream.
19.
Yeah, we mentioned everything
20.
about him. The one thing we haven't mentioned, focus. I've never seen. He's so focused this evening, John, isn't he?
Well, he knows he's playing a very dangerous opponent. He had some cracking matches. I think it's 6-3 in matches for Neil, but he knows full well a couple of those could have gone the wrong way. One in particular, I remember in the Champions a couple of years ago, Ali missed a straight green off the spot to beat him and lost 6-5 in the end. So that was a cracking match they played in. So he's got the ultimate respect for him. That's why he's putting 100% into every shot. And that focus you mentioned, Dennis.
$26.
Another beautifully controlled shot. cue ball, the work on that there was absolutely effortless. Watch the work on this. Through the gap. Pings off the cushion.
Yeah, one of the last times
32.
they played the best of 11, it was Ali who won 6-2 semi-final of the German Masters. That was last
33.
season. But I think he'll be faring the worst here. The mid-session interval's coming up, and the way Neil's going, it's going to be 3-1. I suppose it could quite easily have been 4-0 when you think Neil needed a snooker and almost pinched that one.
38.
Yes, I think along with Peter Ebdon, they'll be talking in the interval here. There's not much they can pick any holes in.
39.
He's playing all right. He's just not getting many chances because his opponent is just playing superbly well and keeping it very tight when it's the safety exchanges and knocking everything in the middle of the pocket when it's his turn to pot. So it's difficult to play against.
Yeah, and it can all turn round in
45.
the interval, and I'm sure Peter will be chatting to Ali about that as well.
46.
Just chatting to Steve there, Ali's good friend and manager.
52.
Getting ready for their little chat, and they're probably saying that there. Well, you know, Ali can't do anything about this. He's missed precious little in this match, Ali.
$53.
Yes, and I can be pretty sure Peter didn't mention the last match he had against Neil either, because in the UK, Neil Robertson was just awesome in that match to beat Peter Ebdon. So if he was giving the team talk out tonight, he wouldn't have mentioned that one.
Yeah, you just think about your wins, don't you?
59.
When you're in the dressing room, you ought to be thinking about matches you lost.
60.
But this has been an awesome display. We had that 37.5-minute frame, which was fascinating as well. That Neil needed a snooker and nearly won it, but the rest of it, 128 in the opening frame, 46 and
66.
57 in the second frame. Ali made a 63 in that
67.
third frame and nearly lost it. But now this, so it is absolutely superb the way he's played this evening.
Yeah, I was wondering when Neil Robertson was going to turn into the real Neil Robertson. I think I've just had my answer, because this opening session
73.
has been as good as anybody here this week. And he is back to his very best on this display. He's making this championship table look like a pool table at the minute.
But it shows you how much he wants to make a century break. A lot of players would just have got down and
78.
give that a bash, gone to the mid-session interval. But it's all these records and
80.
stats they have these days. The players want to clear the table. They want to make century breaks.
83.
He's made 34 now this season with that one he made in the opening frame.
87. $92.
Now, can he get the difficult black for the century? Oh, he's got a
98.
kick. He's got a kick. He might have to try and play this into the middle pocket. Oh, that was disappointing to get the heavy contact there. Is he going to still try and cut it along the cushion? No, it was always going to be difficult.
Neil Robertson,
The kick spoiled the century.
and a frame.
But the more important thing from the world number one is he takes the frame before the mid-session interval and he leads 3-1.